We're super excited to have you here as well. I'm going to start off by maybe allowing some people to get to know one another, get some movement going, maybe elbow some of your people beside you out of the way. We pinned some codes in and around this room, courtesy of Big Fat Simulations. They've been a partner of ours for quite some time now, and they've donated some game codes for online games such as the popular Airport Madness. They are located under the seats. So check under your seats, see if you found one. If you have, hold it up nice and high. We got a couple. I see one back there. I see a couple of so far. We got at least 2 or 3. Perfect. I got a couple of them there. Very good. So you have an opportunity to win prizes just like that over the course of the rest of this weekend. If you did win, instructions are in the envelope for how to claim your prize. So you can do that. There'll be lots of opportunity to win other great prizes. Now, my name is Evan Ryder. I'm with Boston Virtual Air TCC. I'm the training administrator with that online aviation community. For those who don't know us, Boston Virtual Air TCC is an online aviation community for pilots and air traffic controllers. On the Livestream network, we provide air traffic control in this region, so at airports just like this one. We also have an active community of pilots who fly across the network. And we're here hosting Flightsimcon because in many ways this was a VBA event. Back in 2013, at our very first event, downtown Hartford, it was pretty much just a member meetup, as I recollect, with a couple other people that were along for the ride. And now, as you can see, this event has grown to be quite a bit bigger. We've always kept an important responsibility in hosting the event, helping to reach out to the sponsors, the speakers, the exhibitors that come here, and of course, helping to answer any questions. So over the course of the next 2 days, folks just wearing these BVA t-shirts like you see me in are more than happy to help answer any questions that you might have. We also will have an active setup going on upstairs showing about how flying online works and flying on the VAST network is done. So if you're interested or you have any questions, we're certainly happy to help answer them. Like I said, this is the 5th annual Flightsimcon event. Now by show of hands, is there anyone here who was here with us in 2013 for that very first one? A couple of hands in the air. Anyone here has been to a Flightsimcon before? And who's here for the first time? Excellent. Wow. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
So if you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. We're sure happy to have you here. It means a lot to us that everyone has made the trip. I was thinking back on 2013 and the first Flightsimcon that we did. And back then, the big news in the industry, at least for us, was that the wonderful world of FSX multiplayer powered by GameSpy was just closing down at that point. So back in 2012, anyone remember this wonderful experience of FSX multiplayer? Seems about accurate. I heard from the front row there. I know that I just pulled this off the internet. Clearly this guy's worried about the upside down airplane. I'd be more worried about my #1 engine here. I literally typed in Pro ATC Juliana. This was the first result that came up. So I guess we're glad those days are over.
Right.
All right, time for another activity. Everyone get you to stand up, please. It is not musical chairs. All right, so we're talking about travel. We're talking about people who have taken a little bit of time to get here. So if you travel for at least 1 hour to get here, from the time you left home to the time you got here, you can stay seated. If it was less than an hour, sit down. A couple people close by. If you traveled at least 2 hours, we'll get you to stay standing. Everyone else, sit down. People who are sitting down, we all don't like you right now. Especially people here. Okay, if it took you at least 5 hours to get here, stay standing. Everyone else, be seated. I got rid of a lot of people. Okay, let's go with at least 8 hours to get here. All right, we're getting close. If it took you at least 10 hours to get here. Now these people in the corners, it's going to be hard for you to tell with you, but we'll focus on the seats. It took you at least 12 hours. Go with 13 hours? 13? Still standing? Okay, we've lost the UK there. Okay, let's do, where are you from? From where? How did it take you 13 hours to get here? Yes.
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio, okay.
All right, Columbus.
Sorry?
La Paz, Mexico.
Mexico, where else? Halifax. You guys over here?
Halifax.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with Mexico as the farthest one, otherwise you're going to know my geography is terrible. So for those of you who are, come on up afterwards, I've got some prizes for you courtesy of Just Planes. Thank you everybody for making the trip, wherever you came from. You have a seat, thanks. It means a lot to us that you're here, and we are very happy to have so many people here. You know, it's incredible to see the amount of support we have for the aviation community and the flight simulation community here in the United States. The fact that everyone here is made out of the basement is incredible for us. So thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit what we're doing over the next couple of days and give you a bit of an orientation. We are in a new venue this year. We're very excited to have taken over the entire hotel. They're completely out of chairs. So I think that means we've done something right. We are here in the main Windsor Lofts Ballroom, so this will be where a number of the seminars will be taking place over the course of the weekend. I won't highlight everything is in your program guide, but one of the most important ones happening at 2 o'clock, right here on this stage, will be our Flight Sim Developer Panel. So on that panel, we have representatives from Dovetail Games, from Laminar Research, and from Lockheed Martin. And they'll be together talking about what's new in the world of flight simulation for those three main platforms. So if you're interested in seeing what's coming up next from those three big developers, that's happening here in this room at 2 o'clock. Of course, as I say, there is a full set of activities happening in this room over the course of the weekend. Our secondary seminar area, we've got 2 rooms this year. The second one is the Simsbury room. That's located basically around the corner, just where the registration tables were. That'll be the only area having a full program over the course of the next 2 days. The one I'd like to highlight for that room is actually an FAA-approved Wings Credit Seminar. That'll be taking place, so anyone who is part of the FAA Wings program looking to get some credits, that'll be given by Stephen Brown from the FAA, and that'll be talking about the benefits of flight simulation, and particularly at-home flight simulation for pilots as well as enthusiasts. So that's a good one to keep in mind, happening on Sunday afternoon. Just outside these main doors past the exhibitors is Concord's Restaurant. Now, it's a little bit different than at home. Nobody's coming in with a plate of sandwiches for you. You're going to have to go out and get your own food. Sorry. We have that available. That is 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. And if you wish, it's available for $14 per person. You can just take care of that right with the restaurant directly. If you do wish, there are some other options available in the terminal here. And if you're not afraid of the daylight, you can also go outside and try to find a few things in that area. Did someone get the message about turning off their phone on airplanes? So that's available for you if you're interested. If not, like I say, lots of other local options. Next thing that's happening at the end of today is our post-event social. That's co-sponsored by Orbix, and the important thing there is free food. So we'll have appetizers as well as we have drinks sponsored by Orbix. So folks who are interested, we encourage you to stick around after the event. One of the things happening at that post-event social will be themed tables. That's something else new this year. So if you're interested in learning a bit more about scenery design, about online aviation, about flight simulation development, there will be tables set up on those subjects, and we encourage you to congregate around those areas and chat a little bit about, or with some people about those different subjects. And finally, there is also an optional dinner available, so if people are interested in staying here at the hotel tonight for dinner, that's available again from Concord's, and again for $16 per person for the dinner. You can take care of that directly with the restaurant if you choose to stick around tonight. That's our main lobby area. You've probably seen a couple of the exhibitors just out there. The other larger exhibit area is up on the second floor. So if you head right out these doors here, there's a staircase that will go up there. There are also elevators, the same ones that go up to the rooms. That'll get you to the mezzanine level. And on the second floor, our biggest area is just right in the middle there. That's the Amelia room, where we have a number of exhibitors set up. We also have people set up throughout the hallways and in some of the breakout rooms as well. So there's lots to explore, both upstairs as well as down here over the next couple of days. I'll talk a little bit about what's coming up next. You do have a full agenda available in your program guide and on Hula. So if you haven't seen Hula yet, we'll talk about that in a moment. Coming up next in this room, as soon as we're done, is a product announcement forum. So there will be a set of 8 different exhibitors coming up to talk about what's new in their world of flight simulation. They'll get 5 minutes each to give you a very quick overview of what they have coming up and what to expect. So it'll be a nice little preview over the next couple of days as far as what you can expect. Following that, Austin Meyer and the team from X-Plane will be talking about their new release, X-Plane 11. And later today, we'll be kicking off things in the second room, the Simsbury room, at 11:30. That will address Twitch streaming, and the use of YouTube in the online flight simulation world. So lots going on in both rooms this morning, and of course over the course of the day. Another new thing to talk about this year is Flightsimcon Bingo. If you haven't already, you can pick up a bingo card from the registration table. There's an opportunity to win a number of great prizes through bingo, and it's very easy. All you need to do is grab your bingo card, speak to an exhibitor, and have them initial off when they've spoken to you. If you complete the entire thing, just the perimeter, or you get 6 in a row, you'll be entered into a raffle to win a set of different prizes, which include things like Imagine Sim scenery downloads, a 90-day subscription to NavGraph Ultimate, and then our ultimate prize includes a Track IR Pro bundle. So lots of stuff available to be won there. All you need to do is complete your bingo card, toss it in the boxes just outside, and you'll be able to enter to win. There are also some raffles taking place just outside. So if you're interested, there's a couple of different products, again, including a Track IR bundle. We've got some other stuff available all outside there on the table. So drop a business card into those boxes, or there's contest entry forms there as well for you. I should mention as well 2 quick programming notes. We had a couple last-minute changes. One of our good friends has been here many years. Jadiator, unfortunately, isn't able to make it this year, and the same is true for Flag Mountain Software. So they are in your program guide. They just had a change at the very last minute, but they are not here. So please do not scour the whole hotel looking for them. You will not find them. They aren't here this year, so just mark those spots off your bingo card and keep going. Now we did have a travel contest, as maybe anyone saw a travel contest on Hoover on the way here? A couple people, we got a couple entries. So we were encouraging people as they were flying, driving, whatever, to get here to post some pictures of them traveling. And we have a winner here. And it is this picture right here. It's hard to call on screen, but you've got a beautiful little "See You Soon" Flightsimcon up there, and a nice picture out of an airplane window. Now we went around the room last night trying to figure out how to pronounce the last name, so I hope I got it right, but we're going to say Jake Adamczyk from Fairfield, California as our winner. So if you're here, we can round of applause. Come on up right afterwards. He will have won a 90-day subscription to NavGraph Ultimate, including access to their FMS data, charts, and all the NavGraph products. Now, I was talking about Hoover. I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on exactly what that is now. If you haven't done so already, this is the opportunity to pull out your phone and download Hoover. If you haven't done so already, Hoover is our central event communication hub. It's what we're doing everything in. You can access the program, you can access the agenda, you can even choose which seminars you want to be part of and customize your own agenda for yourself. In addition, we'll be sending out important announcements. We'll be looking at things like prizes, and you also have the ability to connect with other attendees. One of the biggest reasons we brought Hoover in this year is because of feedback we got from previous years. People saying, you know, I was talking with this Evan guy, and he was mostly pointless and just drawing on. But then he had one idea that was kind of interesting, and I wanted to follow up. So this way, you can find me in Hoover, you can chat with me, you can exchange contact information, and we've got something that lasts to stay on the conference. Similarly, if people were interested in setting up a local flight sim group, you meet a couple people from Tampa and you're interested in doing something there, again, you can use Hoover to connect with the other attendees. So we really encourage people to use Hoover not only as a means of figuring out how the event actually works, but also to connect long term. So if you haven't already, pull out your phone, search Hoover, W-H-O-V-A, on your App Store, and if need be, there is a joint code, it's FSC 2017. So that information is all there for you. It's also outside in the front and in your program guide. There's lots of ways to make sure that you're downloaded and connected in with the event. And in order to get started, I'm going to ask everyone to pull out their phone, and I'm going to now open up a live poll on Hoover to talk a little bit more about how you got here. So grab your phone, and we'll have that live for you in just a second. So if I've done this right, you should see on your phone, if you go into Hoover, go into the event, and under polls, you should see, or maybe under live polls, you should see some information about that come up. And I'm going to get the results up on the screen for us here. There we go.
I apologize for any quality issues.
The Hoover app is the one. We've got some votes coming in right now. We're asking about how people got here to Flightsimcon. It looks like so far Car is the winner, but we've got a close tie between Car and flying in. A couple people looks like they flew their own aircraft in.
Thanks,
How do we get where? On Hoover. Okay, so on Hoover, I will do this live with you here. If you're in the event, you need to scroll over to where it says, well, I thought this would have been easier at a computer conference. So it's under, if you're in Huma, at the very bottom is events, you should see Flightsimcon 2017. You can get into that and then scroll over to where it says polls. And then under polls, you'll find that you'll be able to enter it there. Give people another couple of seconds to figure that out. There'll be other ones happening throughout the weekend, so you don't necessarily need this one.
There's no polls.
They might be still coming through for people who don't have them. I got a bunch of people that are answering, so we'll leave it there. You might see in the next couple of minutes. So it looks like we asked, I've got 100 people almost in now. It looks like we asked people about how they got here. We're sitting at cars, got 48%, commercial flights, 38%. A couple of people flew into other airports. And I don't know if you can see the bottom one on the screen there, but apparently we had 5 people that attempted to fly in commercially but got dragged off an oversold flight. So apparently the airlines aren't doing what they said they were. If you already, now's the time to download Hula. Make sure that you have it. There will be lots happening on there over the course of the event. You'll also be able to do things like interact with our panelists and ask them questions. So I encourage everyone to do that now if you haven't already done so.
What's the answer for Fight Club? I don't see that.
So I'm just about to wrap up here. I'm going to just do one more couple slides here, and then we're on the way done. One of the really important things I want to share with everyone here today is how much we appreciate both your coming out, as well as those who are here representing the sponsors and our exhibitors. It takes a lot of effort to come out to this event, particularly if you're someone from the flight simulation developer world. There's a lot of people who do this work part-time on the side of their plate. It's not their main business, and it's something that we really appreciate. My team reached out to over 300 different flight simulation and aviation organizations in order to make this event possible. The people that you see here are the ones who said, yes, I will support flight simulation in North America. I support this event. I want to be here and be part of it. So we really appreciate that those folks did that. For anyone else that isn't here, particularly for you folks, if you're out there saying, you know, I really wish this developer was here, or I have this product and it would have been great to see it, you're now our best source of marketing. You can go out and go back to those people and say, hey, this is an event that really means something. We're drawing hundreds of people in the United States to these events. So we encourage you to post on social media, to write a tweet, to post on the forums, to send an email, whatever you can do to keep spreading the word and keep sharing this event so that we can keep growing year after year. Once again, folks, we really appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, any of the folks who need blue BDA t-shirts would be more than happy to help answer. I'll be here all weekend. I look forward to meeting many of you over the next couple of days. We thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Thanks all, folks. Now, happening in just about 2 minutes, we've got some developers right here to participate in our product announcement forum. And as promised, people will have 5 minutes to share what's new in their flight simulation worlds with you. So I encourage you to stay seated. It'll still be another couple of minutes before they're ready out there anyway. So I encourage you to stay seated for that session. If you do wish to step outside, stretch your legs a bit, and start looking around, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to get started in just a minute or two right here on the product announcement forum.
All right, guys, we'll stop this. We'll start with the forum again. See you in a few minutes. All right, so that stream went well. Yeah, that was good. You could feel that. Wow. So it's right after a run the bathroom, just like re-wet it? Well, the bathroom only runs warm water. What? No. So, maybe there's a thing out there if I can dip it in some ice and cool it off.
Yeah,
Hey,
how you doing? Good to see you. Sorry I missed you last night.
yeah, that's all right.
You can get this analysis after OSC you landed. Yeah, of course, failures are important to train as well in flight simulation. So Flightsimguy will let you fail certain aircraft systems, either directly, as you see on the left side, but you can also say set specific failure conditions, like you see on the right side. You can say, for example, that the failure should occur automatically if the aircraft reaches a certain altitude or a certain airspeed. And we are not only supporting this, like I would say, generic failures you see here, like engine failures, But we also do have support for many of the important aircraft suites like COSM, Project Magenta, or also the Mainster Aviation G1000. So you can, for example, also take a PFD or MFD just from flight control. We also have vending figures, by the way, if someone wants to have that. There are many other features in the flight control as well, but I can't go too much in detail, otherwise I get problems here, standing too long here. So yeah, just to give you an overview, there's, for example, pushback control, you have weight and balance, so you see here the fueling part, and you can even control your camera location of the flight simulator from flight control. So flight control is meant as a product which combines all the functionality from many different tools in one comprehensive product which you can use to control all parts of your flight simulator. And all that is available for all the major flight simulator platforms we have right now. So these are prepared, also in version 4 of course. We just released public beta for X-Plane 11 and X-Plane 10. We support FSX in the original version, also the Steam edition. And we also have support already for Flightsim Worldwide Update. So you can use this tool to connect to all of them and even change between them very easily. So if you should have more than one on your computer, that will be also very easy to do. Yeah, the flight control itself, it's a Windows application, but we do have additional apps for Android and iOS. So you can use flight control also on your mobile devices, just connect to your main application and then you have full control or the full application functionality also on your mobile device. So, and I think I stayed in the time, I hope. Thanks a lot for listening. That was only a short introduction, but we are around here all 2 days in the second floor, so it would be great if you come by to our booth. Or you can also get the FS Flight Control a free trial on our website fs-flightcontrol.com, so feel free to try it. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Laura Laban. I am CEO and co-founder of a company called Flight Development Studio. We are the people behind a simulator that you may not have heard about. It's called Infinite Flight. And the reason why you may not have heard about it is because it runs on iOS and Android. We have a very powerful solo and multiplayer mode. We have a flight model comparable to what you can see today on PC. More than 30 airplanes, 15 regions, hundreds of liveries. We have things like autopilot with full auto land, advanced features like weight and balance, even things that you are seeing on PC today like PBR, so physically based rendering, 64-bit support. We have a pretty big community, very large, lots of fan groups. We have virtual airlines organized around the app. And we do, on our multiplayer system, organize weekly official events based on things that are happening in the real world. And it's kind of focused the conference here. Multiplayer, it's built in, super easy to use. You just log in and start playing. You can be a pilot or a controller. You have an example of the interface here. You can be a controller for the tower, ground, approach, departure, center. And we follow the real-world procedures, so you can choose ILS approaches, you can request radar vectors, and we have different server levels. So on the expert server, we call the expert server, if you want to fly seriously, we have people who we train who are vetted by the company. So they have power to moderate and ghost people if they're not behaving properly. And also an important fact for this conference is we have an API, so two types of API. One is local, so you can connect to the app itself. We have TCP and control things like the flight axis, the commands like brakes, flaps, anything that's possible in the app can be done through the API. And we are getting developer feedback, and there's several apps that have been developed to connect joysticks to the app through this interface. We also have a web API to get the live server data, so if you want to get all the flight information in real time, you can get that. We have an app today, liveflightapp.com, made by an intern who basically shows all the flights in real time. The team, pretty small, 4 developers and a bunch of other people around us. We are super reactive to things. Basically, the development is super iterative, so we listen to feedback and we kind of orient everything around that. So what's next? I wanted to show you what we're working on. So obviously mobile, people expect that the quality is going to be sort of low, but I just want to show you what we can do today on mobile.
That is pretty cool. Oh, look at that.
So this is Infinite Flight. This version is the new one coming out in summer 2017. What you just saw actually runs 60 frames per second, full settings on iPad Pro, latest generation on Android devices with anti-aliasing and everything that you can try to turn on. We have 15 meter per pixel satellite imagery. We have an entirely new rendering for sky and atmosphere and terrain. We have live weather up to the flight levels. We have advanced flight planning features, engine stop and start, fuel management. So this is all planned for the summer. So this is the regions we're going to have initially. We have 15 meter imagery on all the orange or kind of yellowish parts. And don't worry, it's not going to be a 50 gig download. It's actually just 30 or 50 megs depending on your platform. And it's going to be streamed. There's a downside, you have to be connected, but we're working on for the next version to have some kind of caching possible for predefined flights. So that's it for the presentation. We are available today on the App Store and the Google Play Store. You can find us on Instagram and on Twitter. You can check out our community sites to find out about the community, what we do, and what's it about. I have the app today, the new version, on my phone, so if you want to check it out or even talk to me about the flight model and things, how things are in the app, come find me in the Infinite Flight t-shirts. So that's it, and enjoy the conference.
Well, hi everybody. I'm Stasi Kulis. I'm the president and founder of MindStar Aviation.
Give it one sentence. Keep it short.
There we go. So we're here today representing our software, which is a variety of avionics suites. Started with the G1000, moved on to 430s, 530s, ProLine 21s, lots of different autopilots, lots of different avionics. Basically, we are a developer of software that goes into many different flight simulators. So what you'll find today is we are representing a Redbird simulator in our booth. You'll find the Noble Flight Sim people here. They also have a really nice looking simulator that also uses our software. So a lot of different simulator manufacturers around the world are using software that we've created. We just kind of stay in the background and let the simulator manufacturers take the foreground.
That's Austin Meyer.
So some of the list of the products that we create here, you'll see the G1000 flight deck and all the other products there. We also have a separate company called Real Nav Data. We create through professional real-world navigation data, create a database monthly called Real Nav Data. It supports our G1000 Aero GNS products. It allows us to do everything from ILS approaches to RNAV approaches, WAS approaches, built into our avionics. So it gives us a lot more granularity than was available with some of the other things that were available at the time. And it's also real world, so all our real world simulator manufacturers that get certifications from the FAA or other aviation authorities can get their proper certifications with it. Connectivity-wise, we have a GPS VR product which allows your simulator to connect to your iPad to ForeFlight for use with real world learning how to use the iPad in flight. And then Airspace VR is very similar to what Pilot Edge does, but in different parts of the country. And a little view of what we're demonstrating upstairs is our G1000 software. It all runs inside FSX and Prepare, and all versions, not quite yet for Prepare 4, but that's coming. And when you marry that with our Real Nav Data product, you have a really good suite of applications. Our products are available for home use, on desktop sims, all the way up to professional use. We have different licensing models for different types of simulations. But you'll find that the implementations are really good with all the companies that use our software. One of the things that I'd like to announce, during the show and for a few days after the show, we're offering a 20% discount on all of our avionics products, not the simulator itself, so I'm not trying to show everybody a simulator in our booth and say a 20% discount on the big piece of hardware we brought. But for our home use avionics software, we're offering a 20% discount. There's nothing special you need to do. All you have to do is go to our website, There's no code that you have to enter. We're offering this through the entire show and for a few days next week. One of the interesting things that I like to talk about, and I'll be talking about this more on Sunday, tomorrow, during my longer presentation, is that I started in flight simulation with Flight Sim version 1. When it first came out, I loved this thing. It was green screen, and it was just this, horrible looking simulation, but as an aviation enthusiast, it was great. Since then, I've become a real-world pilot. Today, I fly a Diamond DA-42 Twin Star, and there it is right there. Everything I learned in flight simulation made it possible to get to the point where I can fly this thing. So I made a point to try to tell everybody, and I will talk about this again tomorrow, if you've ever had more of an interest in taking your flight simulation efforts and taking it to becoming a real-world pilot, this is the way to do it. I can guarantee you that everybody I've taught in the real airplane makes a very easy transition if they've spent time in a flight simulator. In fact, flight simulator people know the avionics better than real-world pilots do. And all of you guys know what I'm talking about. There are features in these avionics that a real-world pilot will look at and not have any idea how it works. But somebody who's been simming for a long time knows exactly how it works. So it's not a big leap to get to flying the real thing. I love the Twin Star. This is one of my favorite planes to fly. And it's actually sitting over its signature right now with a brand new paint job. So come over and see us at our booth, see the Redbird simulator with our software on it, come see the Noble simulator with our software on it. I don't know if I'm leaving somebody out who also has our software on their simulators, but we're happy to talk to anybody about what we do, all our software, and all our avionics. Thank you for coming, and I'll hand this over to Keith Smith.
Hello, hello. My name is Keith Smith. I'm from Pilot Edge, and we provide ATC for flight simulators. If you've been flying online for any amount of time, you'll know there's a lot of different flight simulation communities out there, and each one focuses on a different thing, whether it's VATSIM, IAVO, Infinite Flight, Boston Virtual. There's a lot of communities out there, and we are one of those communities. Our biggest claim to fame, I suppose, is that we provide ATC on a scheduled basis. So 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. In some parts of the United States, we provide ATC. We've been around since October 1st, 2011. We've been doing this for quite some time. And I wanted to use this platform to let you know what's coming up for 2017. It's quite a bit to go through, and hopefully a kick-ass video that will work. And we'll see how it goes. Okay, so we have some software changes. We have some airspace changes. We get hassled all the time about what's going on with our airspace, so I'm happy to make some announcements about that today. And then we have some changes to our subscription options as well. Some quick software news. We finally have support for FSX Steam Edition, both for standalone mode and if it's been installed with FSX co-installed at the same time. So historically we've had problems with that configuration. That's now squared away. We have P3D version 4 support. It is now complete as well. For X-Plane 11, which is my platform of choice, we have had full flight traffic for a while, but people have not been as familiar with it. So you can push data from Pilot Edge into full flight and see traffic in real time from our sim. We have simultaneous dual comm radio support, so if you're a sadist and you like to use both radios at the same time, you can absolutely do that. Probably the biggest feature that we just introduced in the last couple of weeks is this notion of ground clamping. So who flies online at the moment? A lot of you. Who has had the daunting experience of seeing planes either floating 50 feet in the air, or not seeing them at all, or maybe just the tail sticking out of the ground? Yes. Right. So that is a problem which is very hard to solve. I've been thinking about it for 4 years, and recently on a flight to Savannah on a CRJ 200, I stared out the window for 45 minutes and thought about nothing but this. And came up with a way of solving it with the existing data that we have. And we have a good implementation of ground clamping at last. So the sim will refuse to draw any planes below ground. And if it gets the sense that that plane, which is sitting 50 feet above the ground, that isn't moving, should be on the ground, then it will clamp it down to the ground. And so we'll take a look at what that looks like in this upcoming video. We've gotten rid of the legacy CSL models. So whatever models you've been using on VATSIM and that we were using as well from 2003 onwards, the ones that look terrible, that don't have any lighting, animations, shading, none of that good stuff. We've gotten rid of all of those and we've moved to an all high-def CSL model set. There's a model set that just came out recently from Bluebell on xp.org, which contains 80 or so planes, a total of 1,800 liveries, and they're, I'd say, medium fidelity models, but they do support lights and shading and animation. So we have incorporated those and incorporated the gear offsets that are required to get the ground clamping right. So we have a custom version of the Bluebell CSLs, plus we have our own high-def CSL library, which is what this video is going to be showing. Keep in mind, these are not native airplanes, these are actually multiplayer aircraft. So this is what you'd be seeing if you were flying around. Yes, the flaps are going to rotate. Do the dynamic lighting. Spent about a year getting those blades to spin down slowly. So that's, again, that is not planes that we are flying in the sim ourselves. That's what you are seeing in terms of other planes around you. So that was X-Plane 11 with PBR running in all its glory. And it really does change the game in the sim. When you've got PBR running and yet you have these old model sets, it's really jarring. And you're reminded constantly that it's not real when you start seeing planes that are floating in the air that don't look realistic. When you see planes that look like this, it becomes a whole lot more immersive. Okay, so airspace changes. We currently support 2 subscription models. We have Los Angeles Center area, which is where we first launched, 43 towered airports, about 400 miles by 400 miles. People who fly jets felt like a big shark in a small fish bowl and were getting annoyed that they kept bumping into the sides of our airspace, so they begged us to release a bigger chunk of airspace. And we did. We released the Western US, which covers 5 ARTCCs, but only those towered airports right there. Mixture of Class Bravo, a couple of Class Charlies, and 1 or 2 Class Deltas. And that's gone moderately well, but that really does cater more towards jet pilots instead of GA pilots. So our GA community has said, can you add more fields to the Western US? And this is what we plan on doing. So Western US version 2 is now in process. We'll request all the data we need from the FAA, and we will be adding these fields iteratively over the next year. The first 3 being Amarillo, El Paso, and Farmington, which is between Denver and Phoenix, and those should be released probably in the next month or 2. And then as these fields are developed, we'll be getting them released on the network. So if you are a Western US subscriber, you'll be able to get access to all these fields when they're completed. I'm not going to go through the list of airports right now, don't really have the time for it. If you come and see us in the booth, we'll show you a Google map and point out the fields that are coming. Okay, so a good summary for this, for the roadmap, is that we will have 43 towered airports just like ZLA has. We are going to cover all the Class Bravo. In fact, we already cover all the Class Bravo airports. We will cover all the Class Charlie airports. That's a simple way to think about it. Plus 23 Class Deltas scattered around. The idea is that you'll be able to fly a GA airplane for no more than about 100 miles before you hit the next towered airport at the most. We also have our new subscription options coming up. So right now, to get access to the Western US, it's an add-on. You have to have a ZLA subscription, and then you bolt on the Western US subscription. That is going to change in the next month or so. There'll be a standalone option for Western US only for the same price as the ZLA subscription. There'll be an annual option for the same price as the ZLA only subscription. And if you have a Western US subscription, you will be allowed to overfly ZLA. So we haven't set up an electric fence or anything like that. You can overfly ZLA, you just can't land there. And of course, you still can have the combination subscription if you like. All right, that'll do it. Thanks for your time. Have a great show.
All right. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today?
right.
Who of you, raise your hand if you know what FSFX packages is? Quite a few of these. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm here to present our latest software that is Chaseline. Again, who knows what Chaseline is? Quite a few of you. All right, cool. So I'll present for you guys and also for the people who don't know what Chaseline is. So I present myself. I'm Kevin Menard. I'm one of the founders of FSFX Packages with Michael, which is like behind somewhere here. We're two in this business. We started doing visual effects for flight simulator. All right, so wing condensation on the wings of some aircraft. Some of you might have seen some screenshots on the web of this volumetric lighting. Some of the with the 777, 737, and some aircraft like this. But we recently moved into the camera software department. Who uses a camera software that is not Chaseline in their simulator? All right, not a lot. Who uses a camera software at all in their simulators? Okay, not enough. There are benefits, a lot of benefits of using a camera software in the simulator. A lot of things you can't do in ESP. X-Plane is more versatile in so many ways than ESP when it comes to the camera system. But I see Austin right here. But ESP is very limited, and we try to remove those fences on the ESP platform. And for some of you who don't know, ESP is the combination like FSX, B3D, B3 or B4. So what I'm showing you right now is a video release. Oh, there's music too. It's gonna play loop. It's a new camera system, so it removes the boundaries of the camera system that's built into the sim by default. It has a very cool user interface, so very easy to use for a lot of people. And you can share your presets, your camera. You can save cameras in the list and share them with your friends through the community. You have also static cameras, which is a new thing you can't do in the sim by default. Is placing basically a camera in the world somewhere that you position, and you can call it whenever you want. So let's say you have a terminal and you want a camera in the terminal, positioned in the camera, completely independent of the aircraft. So if the aircraft moves, the camera is not moving inside of the terminal. So that's not something you can do usually on the ESP platform. Let's play this again, and if that does anything. Right, so keyword breakthrough. Three columns with different camera presets. And then we have controls in the interface. If you want to move with sliders, you can also use your joystick, your keyboard, or mouse, any controls you're used to. Community, virtual doors also. You can also have doors that you go through virtually on the outside of the airplane, and then you appear inside of the cockpit, which is a very nice feature. Full control also of independent inputs. So let's say you have a joystick controller with some thumbsticks that you want to use to make cinematic views. You can slow that down and increase the inertia when you use the joystick. But if you want it very swift and very fast using a keyboard, you can also determine this speed for the keyboard specifically. So a lot of things that it would take too much time here to show, but if you guys come up to our booth, we'll show you the interface, we'll give you a controller you can play with, and we'll try to convince you all that the camera system is the best thing you can have for the sim. All right? That's all from me already. And Austin is next.
Oh boy, here we go.
Great, thank you. Can people in the back hear me okay? It might be slightly less annoying not to have the echo. Can you all hear me okay back here? No. Yes. Okay, fine. All right, I'll use the mic. Okay, so when I first started X-Plane about 20 years ago, don't worry, fast forward X-Plane 11 real quick here. When I first started X-Plane 11 about 20 years ago, 2 decades, I didn't know how to imitate the way an airplane flies. And since I didn't know how to imitate the flight of an airplane, I did the only way I knew how, which was to break the airplane down to a whole bunch of little pieces, find the air velocity acting on each piece, look up the coefficients of lift drag the moment of the airfoil, and then build up the forces across the airplane. That was 20 years ago when I started figuring out how airplanes would fly by interacting the geometry of the airplane with the air. Fast forward 20 years,
and X-Plane has been used to predict how airplanes in the future would fly, even if those airplanes haven't actually been built yet. And we're riding today at the, what I believe is the ultimate implementation of this. A billionaire named Martin Rothblatt is building an electric vertical takeoff and landing airplane to transplant 3D printed organs to people that need organ transplants, and she needs a way to rapidly and zero emissions affordably move 3D printed organs to helipads and hospitals across the country. And she needs a simulator to see how this is going to work, how we can build electric VTOL airplanes to do this and literally eliminate the backlog of organ transplant people waiting on hospital beds for new organs. And so this to me is like almost in a way X-Plane reaching its ultimate, where we use the flexible power of X-Plane to predict a possible future that is better than what we have now. And I'm not allowed yet to disclose the specifics of what this airplane is going to look like, but hopefully this year I'll be able to put this thing online, you'll be able to download it and fly it yourself. And when you've flown this airplane, you'll really start to hopefully understand that X-Plane isn't about just imitating what we've seen before, but instead interacting the air with the geometry of an aircraft to predict a new possible future. And that future is getting fascinating, more fascinating with each year. While the X-plane blade element theory is remaining impressive, what we're doing with it is taking really things to a new level. We brought a good part of our staff to this conference, and later on this morning, I think around 10:30 or something like that is when our presentation is. We're going to go into all the details. I'm not going to try and go over every detail now in 5 minutes. We have our full presentation coming up in just an hour or so. But on top of this blade element theory model, we are putting an interface that makes it accessible and fun for everybody to use. Tyler Young, an incredible new user interface that makes the whole thing so much easier to access. Ben Supnick with a scenery system that is absolutely mind-blowing. Obviously 64-bit, we've been for the better part of 5 or 6 or 7 years now. For just absolute maximum flexibility and freedom. I just brought on a new guy whose only job is to increase frame rate at X-Plane. We want to be running at 90 frames per second because that's the way you use the Oculus Rift and the Steam Vive without getting sick from the delay. So now what we're doing is we are taking this new interface that we see here, new airliners, the MD-80 and the 737, major updates to the fleet. Well, that's aircraft updating. High quality and all default aircraft is the update the aircraft, and high performance with a new guy whose only goal is to increase frame rate and eliminate micro stutters and pauses. So the simulator runs completely smoothly all the time to make it accessible, FAA certifiable, and accurate in predicting what new airplanes can do. So X-Plane, as we move to these airliners and physically based rendering and FMOD sound, we're out recording the sounds of actual airplanes to get those sounds into the simulator. I was part of that with the Beach Baron and the King Air about 2 weeks ago, which we'll be seeing in FMOD soon enough in X-Plane. All the sounds and the physically based rendering where the light actually interacts with the paint, and it's either absorbed or reflected or scattered based on the color and direction of the incoming light and the type of material on the airplane the light is bouncing off of. As we get into all the physics-based rendering, physics-based rendering and the FMOD sound, it really starts to look and feel just like the real airplane. And obviously, just like Keith, I'm flying my Lance Revolution around. I go into reciprocating and-turbine aircraft, and I'm constantly flight testing them, taking what I've learned from flight testing the real airplane, loading it into X-Plane to make sure X-Plane flies exactly like the real airplane does. And we're building a platform that looks and feels just like the real airplane. But, as always, we're not stopping with imitating what we've seen. X-Plane is remaining X-Plane, which is letting you put aircraft into plane maker, experiment with your dreams of flight, and see where they can take you in the future. And that's not changing. It's never going to change as long as I'm around. So, I'm not going to take up any more of your time, partially because I want my staff to take credit for all their contributions, and they're up here at 10:20 or 10:30, whatever that is. Okay, so brief, but thank you. Oh, all right, there's some other stuff that you'll be seeing later. Sorry, I was supposed to talk about.
Thanks, wow.
That's Austin for you.
I'm a president and co-founder of Flightsimguy. We've been developing virtual reality add-ons for flight simulators for about 2 years now. And today we're here to announce a big new product. So how many of you can say you're truly happy with the frame rate that your simulator provides, that you're impressed with the smoothness of it? Few of you? How many of you have upgraded graphics cards, say from a 900 series to a 1080 and barely seen your frame rate improve? So, at Flightsimguy, we're virtual reality focused, and we've been pretty thoroughly unimpressed with simulator performance. So we actually decided to go ahead and start work on our own simulator. So today, we're here to demo Flightsimguy Flight Simulator. As far as Flightsimguy Flight Simulator goes, 60 hertz is a baseline, 90 hertz is where VR headsets are today. There's 144 frame per second monitors, and who knows what headsets will show us in the future. So we have a huge focus on performance. At the same time, we have a focus on beautiful scenery because there's no point in a simulator that runs fast and looks like a simulator from 20 years ago, and that's why it runs fast. Our focus is on realistic terrain, huge numbers of buildings and autogen objects, and at the same time, we know you as a community invest in your simulators. You don't spend $25 on FSX and that's the end of it. You collect freeware add-ons, you download payware add-ons. Some of you have thousands of dollars in airplanes, I've seen it. And you're not going to want to give those all up to change simulators. That's, in fact, a pretty big issue. And that's why what you see here is the TFDI 717. We're focused on compatibility for existing FSX aircraft so that you can load them out of the box. So for today, we're still very much under development, but if you'd like to try out our software, get a feel for it, come see us at our booth at 308, 309. We also have, I'll be giving a lot more details at my virtual reality seminar at 12:45 today. And aircraft developers, please come talk to me too. We'd like to work with you to make sure your aircraft is running very nicely with our software. So,
Hello, my name's Damien Clark with Hi-Fi Simulation Technologies. We're the developers of ActiveSky. Does anybody use ActiveSky here? Awesome. Thank you very much. Just wanted to talk a little bit today, go over real quickly about our history, where we are today, have a new product announcement, and then talk about our next step. So, here we go. ActiveSky has been in development for 17 years now. We started in 2000. Released commercially first in 2002. Getting from there to here, it's taken a lot of work by a lot of different people. And we met a lot of talented developers. Our beta team is awesome. They help us along the way, making design decisions and testing it to make sure it's as solid as it can be. And our customers give us tremendous feedback. All of you guys who support us are pretty much the reason that we're here today, the reason that we're able to continue development. So thank you. So new for 2017, we just announced it. We have ASP4, ActiveSky for P3D version 4. It's been a lot of work preparing for it. We didn't get a chance to look at it until right before release, and we worked real hard to get that in your hands. It's now available in open beta, and you can actually try that right now if you have an AS16 for P3D license. And it will be a free upgrade for those users. It uses the same license key. And if you have any of our legacy products, you'll get a good discount upgrade price for that as soon as it's available. And it'll probably be about a week or two before that comes out. We're hoping that there's no further delays. It's going pretty good. So you can try that right now. We're going to have some more details posted very soon on that, so you can check our website at HiFiSimTech.com. What's next? Well, ActiveSky for X-Plane. A lot of people have asked about this for a long time. We haven't been able to talk about it because, well, we weren't sure that we could actually do it.
Finally, we've made some breakthroughs, and using some new visualization and depiction techniques, we're confident that in the next 6 months or so, we'll have some really good stuff to bring out to the community. It is too early right now to show you some stuff. It looks a little bit rough, but we're making tremendous progress, so we're excited to bring out more details on that. Other platforms, we get asked all the time about how you can develop for this platform, that platform. Absolutely, we want to develop for all platforms. It's just a matter of SDK, API extensibility, and if we can and when we can, we're going to support all platforms. So just to conclude, we have a lot of projects going on and we need help. So if you're interested, you want to join us and help push weather simulation further, we'd love to talk to you. We need graphics artists, programmers, and testers, and just about anybody who can help us. So if you're interested in talking, I'll be here all weekend. And if you have any other questions, want to talk, just come find me. And thank you very much.
You need help? Yeah, Flight Simulation.
We'll try this. Thank you very much, Daniel. Thanks to all of the folks who came out to the announcement forum. We do have about a 20-minute break now, so I'm encouraging everyone to head outside, stretch your legs. In particular, take a look upstairs in that secondary area for the next couple of minutes. Austin and the team will be back here at 10:30, and he has 45 minutes, so I figure at that pace he'll get through about 3 slides.
Thanks for tuning into the stream.
Maybe 4 if we're really lucky. So back here at 10:30, folks, for those who are interested. Otherwise, please feel free to have a look around.
Yes, there is a go.